congratulations, because that was your baby, right?
Yeah, we're at for a whole year.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
It is absolutely terrific to see so many familiar faces. Please take your time to find a seat. As you may know, I'm Jeremy Haefner. I'm Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs here at RIT, and it is my honor to welcome you to the start of a new academic year. It does seem like the May commencement was just last week, and so somehow June, July, and August go by a lot faster than January, February, and March. So why is that? I want some of our physicists to work on that for somehow. There's a time continuum problem that we have. Anyway, as we begin, let's please all join and stand for the national anthem, followed by our alma mater. Keith Jenkins, Associate Professor in the Department of Communication and College of Liberal Arts, and new this year are deaf sign performers Byron Evans, Shaylee Fogelberg, Jonathan Peterman, and Nick Shaw will lead us through both of the two songs.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Hail RIT, together stand, creating good with mind in hand, inspired to learn till life is done, as teachers, learners, all are one. With pride in our diversity, a spirit of community, we are the men, the women of the future here at RIT. From RIT, our course is set. We celebrate a promise kept, a life of living you have taught. Let new horizons now be sought.
Please be seated. I don't know about you, but I could listen to Keith's voice and watch the deaf sign performers on and on and on. I think this is such a wonderful, beautiful asset that we have here at RIT. Before we go any further, please join me in a couple of recognitions. Let's start with the members of our Board of Trustees who have joined us this morning. As you know, the trustees provide the strategic guidance for us here at RIT, and we thank them for their unwavering and constant support. Trustees, will you please stand and be recognized, please? And of course, our ceremony this morning is enriched by the presence and expertise of our professional sign language interpreters and real-time captionists. We thank them for their important work in facilitating access to communication across campus. Thank you. This past Sunday, I attended an Ironman race. Over 2,500 participants swam 2.4, biked 112, and ran 26 miles, while more than 5,000 spectators watched and almost 4,000 volunteers assisted. Now, boil away the pro athletes and the massive marketing push and the carnival atmosphere, and you'll find the core and essence of what these events are all about. They're about people dreaming they can achieve something they didn't think they could. It's all about people making their dreams become reality through practice, grit, and determination. If you ever have a chance, squeeze yourself amongst the crowd at 11:30 p.m. on the night of an Ironman race, and you'll see what I mean. People of all shapes and ages and backgrounds have been out there on the race course for almost 17 hours, giving it their absolute most. People who have been through cancer, experienced extreme weight loss, milestone birthdays, battled physical challenges, as well as those who just want to see what they can do with a life-changing goal. They are all running down that final chute while the other athletes who have finished earlier and family and friends cheer them on. Crossing the finish line, the faces speak to what they have just accomplished. Elation, agony, pride, triumph, bewilderment, and especially relief. Their dream is about to be realized. They trained, they swam, they biked, they ran, they did it. But it is clear that the goal that is achieved is because of a lot of help. Help from spouses and parents, families, and friends, and of course the race organizers. Now, as it turns out, the Ironman race is a lot more than a journey. It's a lot more about the journey than it is about who wins. It's about what the individual puts into it and then gets to take away from it. Now, I'm sure the board of directors for the World Triathlon Corporation does not spend a lot of time talking about their mission as dream facilitators. But they should, because they're not a race company, they are a dream company. So what does this have to do with RIT and all of us gathered today? Absolutely everything. We too are in the dream business. Every year, we open up the residence halls, the parking lots, the classrooms, the labs, and the athletic fields to dreamers. Maybe it's the dream of a parent to see their first or last child achieve a college education. Maybe it's the dream of the student who always wanted to be a scientist, an engineer, an artist, a designer, or a coder. Here at RIT, we are fortunate to be surrounded by dreamers. How fortunate we are, yet how easy it is to forget. It's our role, of course, to help these students and parents and spouses and families realize these dreams. And just as athletes work hard to earn the right for their award, so too do our students. They must work hard to cross the stage at commencement and earn the right to say they've completed a degree at Rochester Institute of Technology. We, in turn, are their support team, their trainers, their coaches, their champions. and ultimately their biggest fans. It's our responsibility to help them achieve their dreams. Dreams, the kind that envision a better tomorrow, are powerful, inspirational, motivational, and hopeful. Mess with them and we call them shattered. Make them real, as we do at RIT, and we call them life changers. Let's keep this in mind for this next academic year. Now on to our speakers. Earlier this week, at the Convocation for New Students and Families, a series of speakers, including Dr. Destler, Dr. Johnson, Mr. Nick Giordano, President of Student Government, and I pledged to parents that they and their students have made the right choice by choosing RIT. We pledged to our incoming students that RIT is committed to providing them an outstanding educational experience both inside and outside the classroom. Our first step in delivering on these pledges begins with this morning's speakers. The chairs of the Academic Senate and Staff Council, the President of Student Government, and the Associate Provost and Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion will each have about 5 minutes to welcome you and briefly outline their vision and plans for the upcoming year. And of course, when they are finished, Dr. Destler will deliver his President's address. Our first speaker is Dr. Hussein Shah Mohammed, Professor, School of Mathematics in the College of Science. Hussein is also our new chair of the Academic Senate. Hussein, welcome aboard.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Dr. Haefner. As the incoming RIT Senate Chair, I'm truly honored and excited about this opportunity. Serving in this role allows me to expand my service to the university community. RIT Academic Senate is committed to facilitating faculty participation in shared governance at RIT. One role of RIT Senate is to propose and to approve motions that concern curriculum matters and to make recommendations to the university's leadership. As the Senate Chair, I'm responsible for providing leadership for faculty and academic professionals as they work through many questions and decisions. The Senate is the representative body of the RIT Academic Assembly, which consists of all tenured and tenure-eligible faculty, academic professionals, and full-time contract faculty. We are empowered by the Charter of Academic Governance to act for the Academic Assembly in matters relating to academic affairs, personal policies, faculty-student policies, finances, and university services and facilities. I stand here before you as a proud faculty member at RIT. The life of our great university goes on without pause, but with growing evidence of its impact at every turn. We are welcoming another remarkable class of students for fall semester, and we have sent another class of extraordinary graduates out into the world. As we look back a bit at 2013, the evidence of accomplishment is clear. Consider our conversion to semesters. Wherever else our journey may take us, it is clear that we are well on our way to reaching for a plateau of excellence and a star of eminence. This would not have been possible without all of you. Exactly who are you? RIT staff who serve our food, clean hallways, fill out forms. RIT faculty who teach, mentor, do scholarship, and lead by example. RIT administrators who chart the way for a better academic future. And all of you, RIT students, who are here for an amazing educational experience. Your issues and concerns matter to your RIT Senate. Let us be reminded that we are a community, and our success is heavily dependent on our contributions and cooperation. My name is Hossein Shah Mohammed, and many years ago I decided not to ask what RIT can do for me, but what I can do for RIT. Let's dream ideas, dare to create and innovate, face challenges, and move forward. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Staff Council President Lauren Shields. Lauren is Administrative Assistant to the Dean in the B. Thomas Golisano College of Computing and Information Sciences. Lauren?
Welcome back, everyone. I'm pleased to be here representing RIT's Staff Council. As you may know, Staff Council is one of RIT's ways where staff can provide input and feedback on university issues and policies. In my opinion, it's the best, but I may be a little biased. Last year, we addressed issues of campus safety conditions related to winter weather, collisions between bikes, skateboards, and pedestrians, parity in background checks for new staff and faculty, tobacco policy implementation, and the role of staff in RIT's new Strategic Plan 2025. This year, right off the bat, we'll be launching our new website. It'll have more information on Staff Council, plus FAQs and links to information on topics that come up very frequently. We'll be working with the administration to address topics such as staff workloads, compensation, and mentoring. We will continue to advocate for the improvement of conditions of our walkways and parking lots in the winter and for the safety of all pedestrians on campus. Finally, we're pleased to announce that the task force we formed last year to study RIT's policies and practices regarding staff performance appraisals has nearly completed their work, and they're getting ready to present their report and new policy drafts to the RIT community. We look forward to another productive year. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Nick Giordano, President of RIT's Student Government and a dual major in Political Science and Management Information Systems. Nick?
Hi, how are you guys doing? My name is Nick Giordano. I'm a fifth year, so you might say, are you taking it easy this year? Obviously not. I've gone the other route. I am the busiest I've ever been. First off, I'd like to start out with a thank you to everyone who has supported and volunteered here at Goodbye Goodbye, which is our move-out collection and move-in sale. I have been busy with all the volunteers working the sale this week, and we have actually, this is the first time I've been saying this in public, we've actually made over $15,000 during the sale, which is tremendous. Breaking profit in the first year is unheard of, so that's great. And actually, it's a funny story. I forgot my belt today when I came here, and this belt is right out of the bin at Goodbye Goodbye. You see this? Student government has gone through a radical transformation in the past year. We have become much more advocacy focused, and we have our ear to the ground on what students want to see at this school. You know, myself and my vice president, Andrea Shaver, we have been in student government for now 2 years. This will be our second year, and that is a very unique opportunity. Most people don't get that long to be in this leadership role, and this is great for us because we now have already established connections throughout the school, and we know where to go, and we can get stuff done faster than other student governments that have to come in and reinvent the wheel. They have to start over. And one of our goals is going to be to focus on making sure that the next student government leadership team can work off the progress that we made instead of having to start over again next year. And by the way, Andrea has been acting commander-in-chief of student government while I'm doing Goodbye Goodbye. So please, a round of applause for Andrea for all she's done this past week when I've been up to my neck with the sale over in the gym. And I would just like to say to everyone here, for your colleges and for your departments, reach out to the student leaders that we have in student government this year. We have a fantastic group of individuals this year, and they are ready to go, and they are ready to start working with everyone across campus to solve the issues that students bring up. And if you have a college that you're represented with, you can go to the college senators or stop in the SG office and talk to our cabinet members or the students from the MSOs who serve in Senate It's really amazing to see what students can do when they put their mind to it. It is truly amazing. For instance, if you haven't heard of pawprints, pawprints.rit.edu is our petition site here on campus. It's a petition site where students can log in, create petitions, and vote on petitions pertaining to issues that they care about on the campus, issues and ideas that they've come up with and want to share through social media, and it has been a resounding success. In the past year, we've had over 415 petitions posted. Even over summer, very active. We actually had one the other day in the summer, get Dunkin' Donuts on campus. It was over 400 signatures in a day. I don't know, everyone here is looking for more coffee on this campus. Apparently we don't have enough. But these petitions, I like to use the Pareto rule. If you're not familiar, I like to use a modified version. 80% of these petitions are a miscommunication somewhere that we can solve. 20% are actionable items that we can work together, and we have focused on those 20% and put them into a brand new committee system that this will be the first full year we roll this out. I developed this committee system last year because we would make committees for every individual issue and then disband them. And we didn't have any centralized place to put charges in when issues came up. We have a new committee system with 9 different committees that serve every topic that kind of covers the entirety of campus. We have student life, parking and transportation, academics and co-ops, facilities, dining, housing, deaf advocacy, technology, and our newest one, sustainability. These committees have about 4 to 5 charges each, and I implore you to reach out to the committees through either myself, Andrea, or anyone in student government, and get in touch with those that you think you could partner with and you could benefit the most with partnering with, because we have a lot of issues, and I'd say we have about 70 topics right now that we're looking at within all the committees, and it's going to be a great year. Some of our biggest keystone issues are continuing looking at mental health reform and making sure that the counseling center and mental health services on this campus are as strong as students need them to be in such a tough environment such as college. Because stress and other frustrations, they don't go away in college. And it is important that students grow themselves mentally and emotionally as well as academically. And better mental health services plays a big role in that. Another one of my keystone goals is academic reforms. At the Ombudsman office, they released a report of the top concerns that students had, and the overwhelming majority of them were academic related, which makes sense because we're at a college. And we're looking into a lot of these academic reforms that we could do just to see what is out there, just to look at the best practices at other universities and colleges. We're looking at things like how to improve the group work culture here at RIT, how to improve the expectations that students should have for out-of-class work, course evaluations. How do we go at course evaluations that it benefits students and faculty equally, as well as grading? Only 55% of courses ever put at least 1 grade within the My Courses gradebook. How can we boost that up and make sure that that is easy for students and for faculty? We need to find a middle ground for everyone that everyone is satisfied with. And I know it exists, and I know that we are working together right now. We've been working in Academic Senate over the summer in a committee to look through these challenges, and it has been very fruitful discussion. And I can only see it continuing and getting better as the year moves on. Finally, our third goal is that I want to see student advocacy increased on this campus, not only on what they want to see on the campus, but also in local, state, and national level issues. We here in higher education have a moral obligation of telling the world what we think when it comes to the important political issues that are on the table in today's society. And students are in the classrooms and they're learning about these issues, and they need to be able to have a voice into the community to say what they think. You know, sometimes it feels like we might be a little trapped off in the community and we can't reach out, but it's entirely possible. Students can do whatever they put their minds to. They can reach out to the state level and talk to their state senators. They can talk to community representatives and see how they can foster more relationships within the community. Finally, I would like to work on centralizing a community service-based culture here on campus. Community service is a tenet for faculty. It's incredibly important for students, and many staff participate in service-based events every single year. And this happens all over campus, but it's not centralized in a way that makes it easy for people to find new opportunities. And there are many organizations you can go to, but they're spread across campus. I would like to work towards getting all of those service-based organizations across campus and initiatives kind of in one place. I would like one centralized location where students can go, and this is a long-term idea, this isn't a year-long thing, but creating the roots for a more service-based community is incredibly important, especially given the success of the RIT Food Share and Goodbye Goodbye. These programs need to be ensured that they can last throughout student transitions, which I know is very important for all student-based activities that pop up on campus. All in all, thank you all for all the help last year throughout student government and for all of the upcoming times that we're gonna have this year. Staff and faculty on this campus have become more than just their role to the university to me. They become my advisors, mentors, and friends. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Kevin McDonald, Vice President and Associate Provost for Diversity and Inclusion.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a new year overflowing with possibilities. You know, I believe our diversity efforts last year reflected a striving for excellence that was made more inclusive by the continued and sustained attempts at infusing multiculturalism and social justice into the curriculum and into administrative structures and practices. This type of effort represented multi-layered processes through which we strove for inclusive excellence in learning, in research, scholarship, and teaching, student development, local and global community engagement, workforce development, and so on. You see, to succeed in making our excellence inclusive, we recognized the importance of creating synergy within and across organizational systems through the alignment of our policies, our pedagogy, our organizational politics, professional development structures and symbols, our resources, and even our own cultures. We took time to carefully consider how our campus environments could adapt to meet the needs of today's highly diverse faculty, staff, and students, rather than beginning with the assumption that our increasingly diverse RIT community would have to assimilate into existing environments, sometimes with narrow measures of quality and success. We not only intensified our efforts to ensure equal access for all faculty, staff, and students, but we also looked anew at what inclusion efforts could contribute to our learning, to our discovery, and to our community engagement. To that end, I'd like to thank each and every member of our community for their collaborative input into RIT's strategic plan. With the title of Greatness Through Difference and with content reflective of our rich, multi-layered diversity, the plan serves as a 10-year compass, if you will, that I fully expect will lead us to a higher ground and hold us accountable each step along the way. Additionally, I'd like to recognize the efforts of RIT's advanced team and the continued support of their efforts by senior leadership. This team is blazing new trails and entering often uncharted waters to support women faculty in STEM and enhance our entire community as a result. Our faculty associate for women faculty, Betsy Dell, took her role to a new level this past year with her formation of the Council for the Representation and Engagement of Women Faculty, or CREW. This council serves as an advisory group to the provost and was established to support the recruitment and retention of women faculty. The Alana Faculty Advisory Council kicked off their cluster mentoring program this past spring with a reception, and Provost Haefner complemented this effort through his support of individual faculty memberships with the National Center for Faculty Development and Diversity. Additionally, Drs. Kajana Crawford, D.T. Ogilvy, and Hector Flores led efforts aimed at mentoring women faculty of color. Our Spectrum Support Program continues to serve as a national model for supporting students along the autism spectrum, and WOCA, Women of Color, Honor, and Ambition, will be a new initiative supporting undergraduate women this fall. The Division for Diversity and Inclusion partnered with the Office of the Provost and with the advanced team to introduce a week-long social justice mediation workshop to 25 faculty and staff this past June. The workshop was helpful in equipping our community members with valuable conflict resolution tools for use in their current roles and responsibilities. And lastly, President Destler has charged the Division for Diversity and Inclusion with identifying innovative ways to enhance the success of our historically underrepresented students. And the division looks forward to working collaboratively with our cross-functional partners involved in this very important work during the planning and implementation phases of their efforts. So as we continue to strive to educate our remarkable students and cultivate the finest talent among our faculty and staff, let us remember that the history of this world and the history of this institute show that brilliant minds can emerge from anywhere. But we must ensure that for those women and men who have the ambition to succeed at RIT, that RIT is a place where they can thrive and cultivate their creativity and innovation to interact and create an enhanced result. Because a richly diverse America does not await us, no, it is upon us. It is our present and our future. Therefore, creating a culture of inclusion is not an optional exercise, but rather an indispensable precondition that enables us to capitalize on our diverse skills, perspectives, experiences, so that we can better advance the fundamental research and educational mission of RIT. But to maintain the Institute's unrelenting standards of excellence, all members of our community must have the support they need to contribute at the apex of their abilities, because a productively diverse community at RIT will make us so much better at what we do. Broader and deeper as critical thinkers, more effective as collaborators, more creative as teachers, and more understanding as colleagues and friends. So to that end, I'd like to welcome you to a new academic year of exploration, innovation, advancement, and of inventing the future, our future. I look forward to working collaboratively with you as we shine a light on our greatness through our differences and show the world that we are exceptional by design and by example. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Hussein, Lauren, Nick, Kevin. Inspiring and exciting words that are going to lead us through the upcoming year. I look forward to working with all of you. Now, it gives me the greatest pleasure to introduce our president, Dr. Bill Destler. For those of you who don't know him yet, a little bit about Dr. Destler. His career in higher education spans more than 30 years, and he is an international authority on high-powered microwave sources and advanced accelerator concepts. Dr. Destler earned his bachelor's degree from Stevens Institute of Technology and his PhD from Cornell University. Now, there are a number of very interesting sides to Bill as well. As many of you know, he's an accomplished musician, having played in the Fringe Festival and also as a founding member of the Baltimore Folk Music Society, a fact I didn't know until just a few hours ago. Additionally, and this is astounding, he has over 2,200 friends on Facebook. Now, Bill comes from a family of humanists, and when I first read that in the script, I read, Bill comes from a family of humans, and I said, well, that's a darn good thing, because I don't think we're ready for a zombie president yet, so. But he does come from a family of humanists, including his wife, Rebecca L. Johnson, who holds a PhD in psychology. She, too, is very active in the RIT community, most notably through her work in sustainability and civility. You will likely see them biking together, as they are both avid cyclists and are great proponents of alternative powered vehicles and scooters. Let's shake those hands loose. Let's give a really warm and robust welcome to Dr. Bill Destler, RIT President. Bill?
Thank you, Jeremy. And first of all, welcome back. You know, the start of another academic year is always an exciting time in the life of a university. And we have so much to be proud of as we look ahead to the coming year. Undergraduate and graduate applications to RIT reached all-time highs last year, and frankly, they have risen to all-time highs every year in the last 8 years. As a result, our freshman class is the biggest and most talented ever. And increased student and graduate student enrollment numbers will push our overall enrollment to over 18,500 this year. In fact, RIT's record of progress over the past 8 years is nothing short of remarkable, as the charts being displayed so eloquently confirm. Not only is enrollment up, but student quality, selectivity, and diversity are all up markedly during this period. The percentage of Alana students in our freshman class, for example, is the highest ever. And international student enrollment is up strongly even here in Rochester. Remarkably, and listen to this, fully 41% of our freshman class is made up of African American, Latino American, Native American, deaf and hard of hearing, and international students. Talk about diversity. Yeah. And enrollment at our international sites is also expected to be up this year, with the first students enrolled in 2 partnerships we are launching in China expected to matriculate in September. This unexpected growth, especially in the freshman class, is already challenging us in areas from housing to advising to additional course offerings. And you need to know that I am very well aware of the pressures you are all under to accommodate this growth. We have already allocated additional and significant resources to meet these demands, and we will do more if conditions warrant. But the most important thing is to warmly welcome these new students into the RIT family and to work hard to ease their transition from home to campus. After all, this is a happy problem that many of our peer institutions wish that they had. Enrollment and student quality are not the only things that are moving upward at RIT. New contracts and grants supporting research at RIT reached a record $62 million last year, and the total of new funds raised from corporate, government, and philanthropic sources exceeded $100 million last year for the first time in RIT's history. In fact, RIT is now among the top 60 private colleges and universities in research expenditures, and we rank 20th among those without medical centers. This is a far cry from where we were just a few years ago. Now, during the last academic year, 3 of our young faculty won NSF Career Awards, a number comparable with many of the best R1 universities nationally. 4 of our students won Goldwater scholarships, an achievement matched by only 7 other institutions in the country. And 3 won Fulbright Awards. And 2 RIT students took the top gaming prize in Microsoft's U.S. Imagine Cup National Finals. And in fact, we probably ought to sue them for copyright infringement on Imagine. To add to what was clearly a banner year, both our men's and women's hockey teams reached the Elite 8 in NCAA championship competition. And our men's lacrosse team finished 21-1, the best record in RIT history. So we're not only a group of geeks and artists, we're now a bunch of jocks as well. And while I'm talking about the achievements of our students, congratulations to incoming Student Government President Nick Giordano and his team for putting together that incredible Goodbye, Goodbye program, in which discarded furniture, food, clothes, sundries, and other items left behind by departing students can be purchased at a fraction of their original price by incoming students. What a good idea! And it supports our sustainability efforts as well. Now, this fall, we also celebrate the opening of our new Clinical Health Sciences Center with state-of-the-art teaching classrooms and laboratories and a walk-in clinic to be operated by our alliance partner, the Rochester Regional Health System. If you haven't yet visited this facility, I encourage you to do so. It is a great example of how far we have come since we established our 9th college, the College of Health Science and Technology. And although I am so proud to serve as your president, These accomplishments are really yours, not mine. What you are accomplishing at RIT occurs very rarely in academia. The movement of an institution from a regional to a nationally and internationally prominent position among its peers. This will be your legacy, and I hope that you will take well-deserved pride in these achievements. As a further indication of our progress, this summer saw two significant announcements that serve notice that even with the progress made over the past decade, our best days lie ahead of us. First, Governor Cuomo came to campus to announce that New York State will provide $13.5 million in support of a new facility on our campus for Magic Spell Studios, our visionary initiative to exploit the increasing synergies within our nationally ranked computer gaming programs, our imaging science program, and our film and animation programs. I think it's quite an accomplishment to sell magic to the state. These funds will be augmented by an additional $17 million in corporate and private support that will allow the construction of a state-of-the-art facility that will result in increased enrollment in these programs, effective commercialization of the products coming out of them, and the assumption of RIT of the leading role in the huge emerging field of digital media. Oh, and you'll be happy to hear that we intend to add some additional classroom and laboratory space in this new facility to help accommodate increasing enrollments in other programs. Now, second, Vice President Biden came to Rochester to announce that a coalition led by SUNY Poly, the University of Rochester, and RIT is the winner of a nationwide competition to lead an advanced manufacturing institute in the area of photonics. AIM Photonics, as the institute is to be called, will be supported by $110 million in federal funds and $240 million in state funds over the period of 5 years. RIT's contributions will be in the areas of device prototyping and packaging, and the funding that we are to receive will allow for a significant modernization of our microelectronics cleanroom facility. There is a very real possibility that this institute could lead to a second industrial revolution in Rochester based on photonics, optics, and imaging science. And RIT is so well positioned to help lead this effort. Now, these announcements come at the same time that we begin to implement our new strategic plan, Greatness Through Difference. Work is already underway on many aspects of the plan, including goals for total female and Alana STEM graduates, identifying strategic areas of research excellence, encouraging cross-disciplinary and cross-college teaching and research, and improving our overall organizational agility as a means of meeting our ambitious goals. While some aspects of the plan can be funded through reallocation and new revenue sources, many of our goals will require greatly increased fundraising efforts across our campus. For this reason, we are currently in the quiet phase of a fundraising campaign called Greatness Through Difference, the campaign for RIT. This campaign is intended to generate increased support for RIT from philanthropic, corporate, and government sources. And over the next few weeks, I will visit each division and college to introduce the campaign to faculty and staff in more detail. Its success will depend upon the efforts of all of us. The ultimate goal for the campaign will be set at the end of the quiet phase in about 2 years. But I can tell you that this will be the most ambitious fundraising effort ever undertaken at RIT, and one that will be crucial to the implementation of our strategic plan. Now, as many of you know, RIT has also begun work on the self-study required by the Middle States for our accreditation process review in fiscal year 2017. Middle States Vice President Sean McKittrick visited RIT in May of this year in preparation for our 10-year review. And Dr. McKittrick spent the day meeting with campus stakeholders and the executive committee of the Board of Trustees. And following his visit, RIT's self-study design was approved by Middle States. We are now all systems go for preparing the self-study, and thanks to Chris Licata and Mike Laver for their leadership in this area. More to come as we go through the academic year. And our NSF-supported Advanced RIT program, mentioned by Vice President McDonald, which is aimed at addressing the challenges of female STEM faculty at RIT, continues to make real progress in addressing employment inequities and implicit and explicit bias related to this group. They will need the support of all of us if further progress is to be made. In order to demonstrate our support for this program and to move its agenda forward, the Provost and I will both become co-PIs on this grant. And we will work with the Advanced RIT team, led by Margaret Bailey, and all of the colleges to ensure that RIT becomes a model of inclusive excellence in this area. So in conclusion, RIT is genuinely on the cusp of greatness. Every measurable indicator is up, and our graduates are increasingly making us proud all over the world. Let's not stop now, and go Tigers. Thank you very much.
Before we go any further, please join me in a couple of recognitions. Let's start with the members of our Board of Trustees who have joined us this morning. As you know, the trustees provide the strategic guidance for us here at RIT, and we thank them for their unwavering and constant support. Trustees, will you please stand and be recognized, please? And of course, our ceremony this morning is enriched by the presence and expertise of our professional sign language interpreters and real-time captionists. We thank them for their important work in facilitating access to communication across campus. Thank you. This past Sunday, I attended an Ironman race. Over 2,500 participants swam 2.4, biked 112, and ran 26 miles, while more than 5,000 spectators watched and almost 4,000 volunteers assisted. And new this year are deaf sign performers Byron Evans, Shaylee Fogelberg, Jonathan Peterman, and Nick Shaw will lead us through both of the two songs.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag.
Congratulations, because that was your baby, right?
Yeah, I've been around for a whole year.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is absolutely terrific to see so many familiar faces. Please take your time to find a seat. As you may know, I'm Jeremy Haefner. I'm Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs here at RIT, and it is my honor to welcome you to the start of a new academic year. It does seem like the May commencement was just last week, and so somehow June, July, and August go by a lot faster than January, February, and March. So why is that? I want some of our physicists to work on that for somehow. There's a time continuum problem that we have. Anyway, as we begin, let's please all join and stand for the national anthem, followed by our alma mater. Keith Jenkins, Associate Professor in the Department of Communication and College of Liberal Arts.
Flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Hail RIT, together stand, creating good with mind in hand, inspired to learn till life is done. As teachers, learners, all are one. With pride in our diversity, a spirit of community, we are the men, the women of the future here at RIT. From RIT, our course is set. We celebrate a promise kept, a life of living you have taught. Let new horizons now be sought.
Please be seated. I don't know about you, but I could listen to Keith's voice and watch the deaf sign performers on and on and on. I think this is such a wonderful, beautiful asset that we have here at RIT.